What's up guys, it's James here, and in today's video I want to talk about some of the top Airbnb, vacation rental, short-term rental markets that you want to jump on now if you are investing or if you're managing properties for other people on Airbnb. Now, if you're new here, you will have heard me talk a lot about different things. I want to really break it down and show you why I think that this specific type of market is absolutely incredible right now and why there's a huge amount of opportunity. So if you want to learn more about how to earn a full-time income managing other people's properties on Airbnb, and in this video I'm going to break down how you can make $10,000 a year just managing one single property on Airbnb. Now, if you want to learn how to do that, then just check out the link down below in the description for the free training that we're offering on how to earn a full-time income managing other people's properties on Airbnb. I highly recommend that you check that out. It's an incredible training. It's not going to be around forever. So if you haven't checked that out yet, then just click the link down below, register for that training. I know it's going to be incredibly valuable for you. We walk through every single step of the process from start to finish. So I highly recommend checking that out. Now, without further ado, let's jump into it and let's talk about the top markets that are super in demand right now. Now, I also want to make sure that I address an elephant that I see in the room right now before we dive into it and say, hey, if you're in a particular market and you see an advantage to going into that market, this video should not be construed as, hey, don't go there. I don't want to give people shiny object syndrome. If you've already started and you're making progress in a specific market, then I do not want you to watch this video and go, hey, maybe I should switch gears. Maybe I should change my tune and jump over somewhere else. The long-term success in any business is going to come from focus, come from commitment. So I don't want this to give everyone a shiny object syndrome. I just want to kind of open your eyes to an opportunity and open your eyes to just kind of taking a macro view on the market and what's doing absolutely incredibly well right now. So let's jump into it and let's talk about this market. Well, the market that I see as being a huge opportunity right now is cottage country. Cottage country being, that's typically what we refer to it up and further north is cottages, places out by the lake. Also, places near national parks. That's a great market that I would consider kind of cottage country because it falls into the same category. It's anywhere that people in a major urban center want to get away to. So if that's a national park where you are, if it's the lakes where you are, if it's the mountains maybe where you're at. In Colorado, a lot of people in Denver like to get up into the mountains for the weekend or for the week for a getaway. Those types of areas are doing absolutely incredible right now. And there's a couple different factors and a couple different reasons beyond just that they're doing really well, why they make such an incredible opportunity for investing, but also for Airbnb management right now. And that all comes down to what I call the arbitrage. Now, I'm not talking about rental arbitrage. If you're familiar with this channel, you know that I don't love that model of renting properties and then flipping them onto Airbnb. But I'm talking about the difference, the discrepancy in what these properties are worth to a typical person buying them, what they're worth to a typical renter, what you can generally rent them for long term, and then what you can get on short-term rental. Now, typically on an average property, you'll see that with short-term rental compared to long-term rental, you can get maybe a 20, 30, 40, maybe even 50% better return than you on short-term rental than you would on long-term rental. And that's fantastic. That's honestly incredible to be able to increase your returns, your revenue on the property by 20 to 50%. But on some of these properties, it's gotten kind of insane. In some of these properties in the more rural markets, because the rent is so low, but we're actually able to see properties that in these rural markets where you'd rent them for $2,000 a month, they're actually generating $100,000 a year on Airbnb. So the discrepancy there is just absolutely massive. For a property owner, that means 4xing their revenue on a single property, right? That means that net, after all costs, everything, even if they had it fully managed and taken care of, they're still more than doubling. It's more than 100% premium over what they would get on a long-term rental with that same property. So for that reason, it's a massive win for the property owners. And because the revenue can be so sky high on these properties, you can find a lot of properties. It doesn't take a lot to get a property that's going to be generating $100,000 a year. It means that for you as a manager, taking a 20% management fee, you can be generating $10,000 a year on this property. You can be generating $1,000 every month just on this one single property. So that makes a really, really big difference for you. It means that you can be financially independent, financially free on 5 to 10 properties, as opposed to growing to 15, 20, 30. So there's a lot of opportunity there. To give you an example, I've talked about it in a whole bunch of other videos here, this recent investment property, this is one that I actually bought, but I bought a bungalow in cottage country, a bungalow that was a $500,000 bungalow. It would rent for about $2,200 a month on long-term rental. So that means it's bringing in about $24,000 a year if it's set up as a long-term rental. Not a lot. Now, we're trending towards about $120,000 on Airbnb, on short-term rental. Let that sink in for a moment. That's 4 to 5 times as much as what it would generate on a long-term rental is what we're able to generate as a short-term rental. So not only is that a huge win for us, an incredible investment, but it means that if someone comes to me and says, hey, I want to manage that property for you, if I'm a traditional investor, I would love to have someone manage that property for me because I'm still going to make an incredible return on my investment. And I don't have to do anything. I don't have to take any time. I don't have to have any expertise. So that's a huge, huge win for the investor, for the property owner. And that manager now gets to make $10,000 over the course of the year just managing that one single property, 10 to 12K. That's pretty good. It's about $1,000 a month managing one single property, which doesn't take a whole lot of time once you get the systems dialed in. So if you want to learn how to do that, and you want to learn all the steps to be able to approach property owners like myself, be able to manage their properties and get a great 20% commission for managing that property, then just click the link down below in the description. We have a free training, like I mentioned, that walks through every single step of that process. So I highly recommend that you check that out to learn more about exactly how to do it and how to earn a full-time income for yourself managing other people's properties on Airbnb. So again, any of these markets where the real estate value is relatively low and the rent amount that you can get on a long-term rental is relatively low, but that are booming right now and they're experiencing a lot of domestic tourism, those are a huge opportunity and they're everywhere. It's everywhere, no matter where you're located. Honestly, a lot of the people that thought that they're not in a great area for Airbnb, those are the people that are in the best areas for Airbnb, because right now we're seeing that it's not what you expect. Now, the one other question around this is this a fad? Is this going to just kind of come and go? And the answer is kind of yes and no. Now, are we expecting that next year we're going to generate $120,000 for this property again? No, absolutely not. Are we expecting that we're going to generate, $130,000, $150,000 next year? No, we're not going to do better next year. That's not what we're expecting. Now, it might happen. I might be proved wrong, but more reasonably, we expect to earn about $80,000 next year. Now, that's still absolutely fantastic because the market is still there. The market's established. If you look at years past, 2018, 2019, before all the craziness that's going on right now, this property still would have generated about $80,000 in a year. So are we generating more this year because of everything going on? Yes. But does it mean that it's not going to work well later on, 5 years down the road, 10 years down the road? Absolutely not. At $80,000 a year, it's still well worth a manager's time. You're still making a really great income, $8,000 over the course of a year, managing one single property. That's pretty fantastic. And then for me as the owner of the property, it's still going to generate an incredible ROI. And comparing it to long-term rental, it's a total no-brainer. So hope that makes sense. Hope that clears it up. Again, check out the link down below in the description if you want to watch our free training that goes into full depth. I even give you some free tools so that you can go through and actually have the tools you need to grow this business yourself and earn a full-time income managing other people's properties on Airbnb. So go ahead and check that out down in the description below. I hope you liked this video. If you did, if you got value from it, if you found it was interesting, then just go ahead and click that like button. Give this video a like. It does help me out tremendously with YouTube's algorithm, helps out the channel. And if you just want to do me a solid, just take a second, hit that like button. I really do appreciate it on a personal level. Thank you very much. Also, if you're not subscribed to the channel, I know a bunch of you guys are watching these videos and you're not subscribed. Okay? Hit that subscribe button, press the subscribe button so you can stay up to date I work very hard to put together 2 new videos for you guys every single week. And my goal, my only focus is to put together videos that are going to be valuable to you and help you. So help me to help you. Press the subscribe button so you can stay up to date with the new videos that we post twice every single week. And then I'll see you in the next video.